everyone, it's Miss Ann from the Ontario Public Library, and I hope that you have all been having a really fun spring break so far because this is spring break week. And Miss Ann has something that will make it even more fun. Miss Ann's Egg-selent Egg Extravaganza, which you can see right over here next to Miss Ann. And it is a celebration of eggs and also an alliteration. Do you guys know what an alliteration is? An alliteration happens when all of the words that follow right after each other all begin with the same letter. In this case, the letter E, which is for egg. So you got Miss Ann, not the E words. Egg-selent Egg Extravaganza. So there we go. We're having fun, we're learning, and we're having the best time already. But let me tell you what Miss Ann's Egg-selent Egg Extravaganza is. All of this week, Miss Ann is going to be sharing tricks and tips and ideas for decorating eggs because we have Easter coming up this Sunday. So if you want to do it for Easter, that's cool. For the Easter bunny to hide or for you to find or anything like that if that's what you do with Easter eggs. Or you could just decorate eggs for fun if you don't do the Easter thing. So either way, we got some egg ideas coming up for you all the rest of this week. Today, the trick that Miss Ann is going to talk about is how to get the eggs ready to decorate. So normally what you do is that you boil eggs. You put the eggs in a pan on the stove, fill it with water, and boil them until they're hard, right? Because you need to make sure that the eggs are hard and not raw when you decorate them, when you do egg decorating. But Miss Ann has a different way that she does it, in that she cooks them in the oven. What you need to do that is you need some eggs. Miss Ann has eggs. And then you need an oven. Miss Ann has an oven. We'll see it in a second. And then you need muffin pans. You know, like this kind of guy. But Miss Ann is going to do a lot. She's going to do 1.5 dozen because she has a whole bunch of egg ideas for us to look at this week. So she is going to use a mini muffin pan that has more spots. Anyway, so that's what you'll need to start off. You'll need the eggs and you need to put them in the muffin tin holes. So I'll just show you. Look, take it, put it in there. Put the roundy part on the bottom instead. Like eggs are weird because they look like they're both the same, but there's a slightly pointier end and a slightly rounder end. Put the rounder end at the bottom. After you put them in the oven, you're going to put them in the oven at 325 degrees. Now you can put them in from 20 minutes to 30 minutes, depending on how done you want the egg to be. And if you're not going to cook them, because some people don't like eggs, they just like decorating them and they don't want to eat them, I highly recommend eating them if you're going to because we don't want to waste food. But if you don't eat them, Miss Ann won't tell. But I'm going to eat them. Well, I'm actually going to give them away to people so that they can eat them. And I'm going to cook them for 28 minutes, which means that it's going to have the yolk inside, the yellow part, is going to be pretty well set, but it's going to be slightly soft. So that's going to work for what I like when I'm eating eggs. So, hard-boiled eggs. So that's what you do when you're cooking them. And I'm going to put them in for 28 minutes. When they're out, so like 5 minutes or 3 minutes or something before they're ready to come out, what you need to do is get a big bowl. This is Miss Ann's big bowl, and put a lot of ice in it and cold water, and take some tongs when these get right out of the oven. When you take them out after 28 minutes, you're going to take your egg and put it right in the cold water. We're going to go over that when it comes up to that. So this is Miss Ann's trick for cooking a lot of eggs, because if you cooked 18 eggs on the top of the stove, sometimes when they're boiling, they knock into each other and the shells get cracked. And I don't want that to happen because we're going to need all these eggs for when we do all the rest of the decorating for the rest of this week. Okay, so we're gonna bring these over to the oven, and Miss Ann's gonna put a couple more eggs in here, and you're gonna see what they look like when they go into the oven. Okay, these are Miss Ann's eggs that are all ready to go into the oven, and you can see that it is preheated for 325. Okay, she's gonna take them, put them right in the oven. Really careful. Probably if you guys are doing it, you should do it with more than one hand. You can hear them rattling around. Bye, eggs. We'll see you on the other side. And we're gonna wait for 28 minutes, and then we'll be back. Okay, so my eggs are almost done, so I'm getting my ice bowl ready. So we're filling this bowl up with a bunch of ice. Ugh. And then we're gonna put cold water in it. And the reason that we're doing this is for two reasons. One, it'll stop the eggs from cooking and getting overly hard yolk in the middle. And the other reason is to cool down the eggs as quickly as possible, because we want to decorate them and the eggs have to be room temperature, or honestly a little bit colder, to make sure that we can decorate them and it won't melt what we're trying to decorate with, and it won't get in the way of the colors getting on the eggs. Okay? So I'm going to go fill this up with water, and then the eggs should be out, and I'll show you putting them in. Also, here, filled with ice. The eggs are out of the oven, and I pulled my ice water close so that I don't have as far to go when I'm putting them in the ice water. This, you want to be super gentle. So once I get most of these in here, I'm going to show you that I had one egg kind of burst when I put them in the oven. This guy right here burst in the oven. So it was a reminder that you should probably try to get your eggs as close to room temperature as possible. Miss Ann dropped one, and it so she had to take one that she had left over that was colder, and it cracked up in the oven. So try to make sure that your eggs are pretty close to room temp. So my eggs are in the water bath now, and I'm going to let them sit in there for at least 10 minutes before I take them out and start to decorate them. And you're not even going to see the decorating ones, because the decorating stuff is going to happen through the rest of this week. Also, this helps with if there's any, like, do you see this discoloration on this egg a little bit? Sometimes the other ones will get that, and the water bath helps with that too. All right, you guys, so my eggs are done. The ice is totally melted, and the eggs are hard-boiled and ready to go. So I'm going to make sure that I dry them all off. So it's important for these eggs to be dry when we are doing Miss Ann's Egg-selent egg extravaganza for some of the egg decorating that we're going to be doing. So I'm going to make sure that these are all dry, and make sure that you keep your egg cartons so that you can store your eggs before, if there's going to be a little bit of time in between, that you store them in the refrigerator before you decorate them, or you store them in the refrigerator after you decorate them. You don't really want the eggs sitting out if you're going to eat them after you've cooked them for very, very long. Okay, so the rest of this week, tomorrow we are going to have a bunny story time. So no Egg-selent eggs things tomorrow, but on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday we will be doing Kool-Aid decorated eggs, galaxy eggs where we use oil to do some marbling, and we are going to decorate them by using rice. And I'm going to go over at the beginning of all of those videos the ingredients that you need to do them. You can, of course, use the baking the eggs in the oven method to do normal egg decorating, where you get the tablets and you put them in vinegar and you just do the egg that way, which is totally fine. But those are not the ones that Miss Ann is going to demonstrate for the rest of the week, because you guys already know those. So for the egg decorating that we are going to do, you need to make sure that you get some food coloring. So I got this at the dollar store because when I went to Tops, they did not have any liquid food coloring. So they only had gel food coloring there. And you're going to really need the liquid for what we are doing. So remember, the liquid ones look like this, and they're going to be liquidy. You don't want to use the gel ones. I don't think it's the worst, but it's sort of hard for it to work, especially with the Galaxy eggs that we're going to do and the Cool Whip eggs. So stay tuned for all of that. Oh, and make sure that if you feel like coming over to the library and picking up some make and take crafts and saying hey to Miss Ann, that you definitely do that too this week. So looking forward to spending the rest of this week egg decorating. And if you come to the library, happy to see you. And we'll see you tomorrow for story time. Bye, guys.